There's no quippy intro, I'm making a mini library, that's the selling point. Grab a snack, open your Pinterest board and lock in. I love dumb stuff. I love tiny stuff, I love books. I fear we always knew that this is where we'd end up. Oh, you thought that was a final reveal? No, you silly goose, I'm not wrecking my retention metrics like that. Call me Barney Stinson because you have to wait for it. And that reference is dated now, horrifying. First of all, thank you to Xtool and their all-in-one laser cutter, engraver, and printer, the M2, for making all my crafty dreams possible by sponsoring this video. The idea of making a tangible way to track my reading has been haunting me. It was always a matter of time, and the time is now. So, my goals for this library. 1. Be cute, of course. 2. Determine if I like making miniatures, because for years I've thought that is clearly my hobby calling. And if you watched my last video, you will know that I am pushing myself in terms of pursuing new passions. And 3. I want to make a functional mini library. I want this to be a physical reading tracker full of mini custom books I can move from shelf to shelf when I read something. Okay, let's get started. And by the way, everything that I use, including design files, will be linked in the description box below. Now, because I have the Xtool M2, I knew I could be a bit more ambitious. I've used it before, I've actually used it to make mini furniture already, and it can slice through craft wood like butter. So fun things like cut out windows are on the table. My Pinterest and I spent some quality time together and I decided on a few key things. 1. Essential stained glass window. We must. 2. If I can pull it off, a nook within a nook. Nookception. 3. This one is a stretch, but if I could figure out a functional light or lamp of some kind, I could retire happy. From there, because this is my first miniature project and I want it on easy mode, I actually started looking for laser cutting files that at least partially would work as a base. And I struck gold with this listing by Funny Doll Studio. It uses 4 sheets of 12 by 12 3mm plywood, which is perfect. That's actually the exact material I've used with the M2 before, and it was cute. Honestly though, I have awful spatial awareness, so I think rather than being super detailed with this plan, only to later realize that everything is cramped and I need to scrap half of it, let's just start making and see where we land. Initially, I was going to glue together plywood to make the room box, but I bought a few room inserts for my IKEA Kallax, including this little pet bed. It bears no relevance, it's just very cute. And as I started assembling the insert, I realized that I could actually use those parts as a room base. That way, the library fully fits the insert without any gaps. And it gives me a nice consistent color base for the walls, plus a floor texture. Work smarter, not harder, friends. In this case, I didn't work smarter though, but you'll see. Next, I headed over to the Xtool creative space and I imported the cutting files for my bay window. The M2 is great because there are cameras inside and it automatically takes a photo of your workspace, so you can check that the cut file layout works and rearrange things to fit if it doesn't. But we must give this Etsy seller their flowers because they are the real MVP. They'd already optimized their listing for smaller laser machines, so the design was already pre-split into 4 cut files that perfectly fit my plywood sheets. So this was actually super easy. I just sat back and watched the machine do all the work. Until it told me that something caught fire. Huh? I do keep a small fire extinguisher handy, but still, yeah, terrifying. Fortunately, there was no fire, just my enduring idiocy. So, great safety feature of the M2. Obviously, it's a laser, it gets a bit hot in there. So the M2 has a flame detector and it will automatically turn off if things are getting a bit spicy. Now, to avoid falsely tripping that sensor, there's a big colourful sticker that says, "Don't use this in direct sunlight." So good news, there was no fire. After the files were all cut, I stained the wood and assembled my bay window. that is where we finished on day 1. Now, this is the part where I lost my damn mind and decided, scrap the plan, let's make a mezzanine. There is truly not much that a girl with a ruler and a Canva subscription cannot do. So I glued the bay window insert in and got to measuring. First, we made a facade to try to cover the gaps and give the bay window a decorative trim. The M2 has a really fun feature where it can engrave as well as cut, so I decided to include some engraved floral motifs in here too. We will talk about this more later in the video, but just put a mental pin in day 2. If I were to make another box in the future, 100% I would use plywood for the walls too, just because the thin cardboard I'm using here is too malleable, and where the ruler could manipulate it a bit, they kind of mess with my measurements. For the mezzanine level, I made some faux railings, and again, all my measurements were bloody off, so I added the first half of the railing, realised the second half wouldn't fit, and I just decided to commit to it as a room trim. Because I cut and stained my whole batch of designs at once, I actually didn't have enough of the railing trim to go around, so we'll finish that tomorrow. My last task for today is installing the bay window panels. You guys may remember that one of my design goals was to have stained glass windows. Well, let's see how we go. So the first step for this was super easy. I just chose a design and printed it onto plywood. The M2 comes with a CMYK printing module, so you can like literally print and cut a design in one. It's all very convenient. I made a few test run windows so that I could play with colours and different finishes. Mod Podge ended up blurring the ink a bit, so I settled on resin in the end. And look, I don't love these, to be honest, and if I weren't on a time crunch, I would probably try the faux stained glass kit and at least outline the design. But again, this is my first miniature, and we live and we learn. So now that I have my loose frame all set out, let's do some decorating. Coincidentally, we are also on day 3. I had a bunch of offcuts for my various window attempts, as well as some other just annoying gaps to cover. So I had the idea to make some signs. For this, again, I just made some quick designs on Canva, imported them into the Xtool Creative Space, and engraved them onto my spare window panels. Side note, this is where I realized that Xtool Creative Space has a live monitoring feature where the camera like live streams within the machine. I just found that so fun. The centerpiece sign is just gonna cover or whatever that mess is, and I even matched the stained glass window with some more iris decals. I wanted the mezzanine to be like a cozy, messy attic vibe, so I headed to one of my favorite Etsy stores and downloaded a few more furniture design files. I wanted to cover my bases, so I made an apothecary drawer set, a storage trunk, a chest of drawers, and a desk, and here is how all of those came out. After I stained everything, I glued the apothecary drawers in because they very conveniently covered a gap, and at that point I had used all my brain power for the day. Another day, another craft project, and we are starting by making a little cushion for the window seat. For this, I cut some foam down to size and just glued scrap fabric to the outside of it. Was it messy? Yes. Was there a better way? Probably yes, but I didn't find it. Now, you guys know that I have lofty aspirations of building mini sets and recording my own B-roll, so I've been slowly collecting mini furniture pieces, and I had a few that were perfect for this room. I finally settled on a layout for my mini attic, and you may remember this fireplace that I painted from my video on homemade craft kits. Because it's an attic, I dotted around some additional storage and clutter. Do we like how it came out? Because I'm super pleased. And then I added some art to the walls, and I actually even painted some of the mini art pieces myself. Don't worry, I'm not quitting my day job because I don't have a day job to quit anymore. Now, do you know what my library is suspiciously missing so far? Books. For this, I kind of cheated, I know, I'm sorry, and I bought a pack of blank Dollhouse books. Using those measurements, I created a Canva template and copy-pasted book covers in. Because my printer is not built like that, I didn't bother with the back cover and spines and opted to just create those myself. This was also just a great opportunity to actually sit down and create a TBR list. My unofficial reading theme for the year is capitalist dystopias. We are already well on our way with that, my favourite so far being The Ferryman by Justin Cronin. I didn't want my read shelf to be completely empty, so I also made some dinky copies of some of my read books too. And now our library has books. Okay, so far we've hit 2 of my 3 goals. Should we make it an even 3? I'll admit, this is definitely cheating, but I bought a battery powered dollhouse ceiling light, stuck it on and called it a day. A win is a win. With my books now officially in their miniature library home, I think it's time for the final reveal. Thank you so much to X-Tool for sponsoring this video. I quite literally could not have made this without the M2. I was having creation ideas way above my skill level. If you're also looking for a very beginner-friendly way to level up your crafting, I do have a discount code for you. You can use the code on screen now, and the details will also be in my description box down below. In case you missed my upload earlier this week, this video is actually part 2 in my quest to discover my next creative passion. So, do we think this could be it? Well, remember I told you to mentally pin day 2? Day 2 is really where I started to hit my stride and found myself genuinely excited and I guess more explorative with the process. The finished project was always exciting, of course, but the actual getting there was finicky, stressful, a bit of all the above. At least for the first day and a bit. But after a full day of using the software, painting, assembling, all that stuff, I started feeling comfortable and then I started branching out into making my own designs and I had so much fun. This was such a satisfying process and well, I mean, you guys have seen my channel. Are we surprised that I love creating tiny, adorable things? Still, I think the clearest signal that this has very strong passion potential is simply the fact that I can't wait to make another one. A mini art studio, a mini office, new custom sets for B-roll. I'm actually buzzing. So we've started on an absolute winner. I love this. That being said, we do have a few more hobbies planned and some of those are wild cards. So we started on a winner, but I can't promise that the rest of the series is gonna go as well. But yeah, I absolutely love this. I'm so pleased with how my mini library came out. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Like this video if you liked this video. Thank you to my channel members as always, and thank you to you for hanging out with me. Okay, bye!